The kids in that motherfucking school is calling my niece bald head. They said my niece looked like Woody off of Toy Story. They are using popsicle sticks to go through my motherfucking niece's hairs to see if she has lice. Y'all are saying that my niece is poor. She looks poor. She stinks. And this is just okay with the motherfucking school. But then y'all wondering why the she's acting out the way she is. And then y'all using the shit and turning it on her motherfucking mother as if she's the fucking problem. My niece is getting bullied. That's what the fuck is going on. And then she had a situation today and they're wondering why the fuck she said what the fuck she said. It's because y'all fucking students are fucking bullying her. My niece made a comment today because a motherfucking kid was fucking with her. And she said she just wanted to go home and pew herself.
I need you to really hear me on this. This isn't just a video. This is a conversation that too many people are scared to have or choose to ignore. Because the truth is, racism doesn't start with police, politics, or protests. It starts at home. It starts with what parents say around the dinner table. It starts with what's taught or what's left unsaid. It starts with the quiet looks, the whispered comments, the jokes that aren't funny. And then it shows up in our schools. White kids walking around like they're better than black kids, like we're less than, like we don't belong. And when we speak up, we're angry. When we stand tall, we're intimidating. But let's be clear, this is not just kids being kids. This is learned. This is taught. And it's still happening every single day, in classrooms, hallways, cafeterias, and even on playgrounds. The worst part? Most people don't want to talk about it. They say, that was in the past. It's not like that anymore. But we know better. We live it. So today, we're going to talk about it. We're going to show it. And we're not going to sugarcoat anything. These next clips are real. They're painful. But they need to be seen. Because until we face what's really happening in our schools and in our homes, this cycle will never stop. So if you're here, don't just watch. Feel this. Understand this. Share this. Because it's time we stop pretending racism is gone when it's still raising our kids.
So the fact that my sister just called me crying, bad as fuck, can barely motherfucking talk, because my motherfucking niece's school keeps fucking with her. Mind y'all, my sister live in a predominantly white neighborhood. Obviously, my nieces go to a predominantly white fucking school. My niece is the only black kid in her motherfucking whole class, in the whole 5th grade, right? We're trying to figure out why the fuck is my niece acting out so motherfucking bad? Why the fuck is my niece just doing shit that she ain't usually fucking used to doing? These motherfuckers done called 696 kids on my sister 2 times in the last couple fucking months. And we trying to figure out why. Backstory, my niece, she has been evaluated multiple fucking times. We don't understand why the fuck my niece still pees on herself. The same shit that they probably wondering, we wondering too. But the fact that y'all are calling CPS on my sister because y'all are insinuating that she has been touched inappropriately is crazy. And it don't even stop there. The fact that I personally just got off the phone with my motherfucking niece trying to figure out what the fuck is really going on. The kids in that motherfucking school is calling my niece bald head. They said my niece looked like Woody off of Toy Story. They are fucking using popsicle sticks to go through my motherfucking niece's hairs to see if she has lice. Y'all are saying that my niece is poor. She looks poor. She stinks. And this is just okay with the motherfucking school. But then y'all wondering why the fuck she's acting out the way she is. And then y'all using the shit and turning it on her motherfucking mother as if she's the fucking problem. My niece is getting bullied. That's what the fuck is going on. And then she had a situation today and they're wondering why the fuck she said what the fuck she said. It's because y'all fucking students are fucking bullying her. My niece made a comment today because a motherfucking kid was fucking with her. And she said she just wanted to go home and pew herself. And guess what? The whole class laughed at her. And not even that. A teacher at her school yelled at her in the middle of the motherfucking class and said, "Tanila, fold her now." And my niece started crying because she was confused on why the fuck she yelling at her. My niece started breaking down crying. And she said that the teacher said, "Why are you crying? I was just playing with you." And now the whole class is, again, laughing at her. This is in Brunswick, Ohio. The shit is happening every fucking day to the point where my niece is talking about she wants to unalive herself now. And guess what? The motherfucking kids is laughing. The school is doing nothing about it. Now her mother is dealing with the fucking consequences of y'all calling motherfucking child protective services. Mind you, my niece is 10 years old. She has been to several fucking schools in Cleveland. Never ever has she ever had CPS called on her a day in her motherfucking life. And now all of a sudden she just moved to a predominantly white neighborhood. And now CPS is getting called on her more than once. As if she's the bad guy. Y'all is crazy. And y'all got another thing fucking coming to think that being racist is okay. For real.
Let me know if I'm wrong. There's a Caucasian little boy in my daughter's class who basically been calling all the black people in her class like racial slurs, like niggas and all of that. The little boy done been written up multiple times. They done had conversations with his parents and all of that. So I'm just trying to figure out, am I wrong? Because I feel like the school need to take further action, because at that point it's bullying. Like, ain't that against school protocol for him to just be going around making racial slurs and he done been written up multiple times? Like, don't they have like a 3 strikes you out type of policy?
This was finna piss me off. My kids already in a predominantly white school and have already been harassed and fucking bullied for being black and for having locks. And the motherfucking school gonna email me today talking about my daughter needs to hush up about the situation and she don't need to talk about it no more. What you motherfuckers fail to realize is this is the first time she's been through anything like this. So her talking about it might be a way of her finding out how to express herself. You cannot tell a kid that they can't talk about a fucking situation that they've been through. So yeah, I'm going 1,000 miles per hour to this motherfucking school. Cause what the fuck do you mean my child needs to stop talking about what the fuck she done been through?
So I work at a school that has 14% black students. Yes, 14%. At the beginning of this month, because it's my birthday month, it's my anniversary month, and it's Mother's Day month, I had to make a conscious decision that no matter what, I would not let anyone steal my joy, and I would not play into the shenanigans that they play in. I also work with a lot of racist people. I have called this out. I'm not one that's ashamed of calling it out. I have called it out. They know what I think of them. So I have this group. I'm a sponsor of a club, and it just so happens to be, it's called a Thurgood Marshall History Club, so a Black History Club. I have approximately 20 students because the club only came about a few months ago. So, like the other clubs, they started in August when school started. Not my club. My club started a couple of months ago, and only because the district was like, every school in the district needs this club. So they was like, they pinpointed me to sponsor this club. I have no problem sponsoring the club. I gather some of my students. Now, some of the students I handpicked, but others, they just came along because they wanted to be a part of something. There was absolutely nothing at our school for our black kids. Nothing. If you didn't play sports, which is few and far in between, there's nothing for them. So they came on. I have 8 seniors that's a part of my club. So, with all that being said, last week, which was the first week of May, last week, I had some coworkers picking at one of my club members, only for them to find out, like, oh, you can't do nothing to her because what she's saying is legit, what she's doing is legit. So they was messing with her all last week, and I kept telling her, I was like, hey, you got some exciting stuff come up. Don't let nobody steal your joy. Don't worry about that. I said, if anything comes up, I will handle it. Don't worry about that. Don't let that get you angry. Don't let it get you upset, because she came to me one day almost crying. I was like, don't let it get you upset. We know what it is. Move around. I said, don't worry about it. I will stand in the gap. And they know that about me. I tell them all the time, I was like, if you got an issue, but not only with those kids, It's the kids that I have watched grow up. If you got an issue, come to me. Let me handle it. Don't be trying to go handle no issue with no grown person when you got somebody to stand in the gap for you. Let me handle it. So they got off of her back when they realized that there was absolutely nothing they could do to her. That was last week. Today, so yesterday, there was some issues at school yesterday, and it could have possibly poured into today. Now, no one in my club was involved in the incident yesterday. However, the follow along from everything that happened yesterday, I got a couple of students in my club that could have been somewhat kind of involved or whatever, or it could have trickled down to. I knew that. So this morning I was prepared. I went in and I didn't see those students, but I was like, hey, tell them I'm looking for them. So one of them, I guess on my lunch break, got sent home to avoid everything. When I come back from lunch break, another one came and found me, and she was like, pretty much, I don't feel safe here. I just feel like I need to go home. I said, I agree. I feel like you need to go home too. You've been doing good. You've been staying out of trouble. Remember, trouble is easy to get into and hard to get out of. So don't put yourself in a situation where you feel like you're going to get in trouble. She called her aunt. Her aunt was like, I'm on my way to come get her. Okay, good. We got her out the way. After lunch, another one, when it's a senior that has nothing to do with nothing. This baby just trying to graduate, an honor roll student, nothing to do with nothing. I feel like outside the fact that she had blue hair in her head. She came to me. She was like, Miss Tia, she was like, I got an issue. I said, what's up? She said, yeah, I was approached in the cafeteria. She said, because I don't know why. And I said, what you mean? Tell me what happened. And she tells me, she was like, they approached me and was like, oh, was you in the last lunch? And she was like, no, like, why would I be in the last lunch? Now, I know this baby, and I know she really struggles with anger issues. If she feel like you coming at her wrong, like she is the type to spaz out. This baby has been through a lot in her life. So she is the type to spaz out. She was like, Miss Tia, I was so mad and upset. She was like, but I remember what you told me. You told me, don't be trying to handle no adult issues with these adults. Come to you. She was like, so I'm telling you, I don't like the way that I was accused of doing something that I did not do. And I feel like it was racially motivated. It was only because I'm black. She was like, I feel like the stuff that happened yesterday got everybody in a frenzy. She was like, but that ain't have nothing to do with me. And I know 100% it has nothing to do with her. Nothing to do with her. And that baby come to school, leave school when she need to leave school, and she go home and go to work. So she ain't like, she had one hiccup like a few weeks ago or whatever, but that was the only problem anybody has ever had out of her, apparently, since she been at that school. So I'm like, for real? And she was like, yeah. She was like, she was so hurt behind the fact that she felt like she was pinpoint, and the person told her, oh, so you mean to tell me you ain't the only person here with blue hair in your head? I was like, what? She was like, exactly. She was like, exactly. She said, so I told the teacher that I was with, like, please go tell her I was with you. I wasn't. She was like, but they made it seem like I was lying. And she was really, really upset. So I was like, babe, go home. Don't worry about it. I got you. I was like, your feelings are very valid, because they are. Because I know that they are racist. And I know because of what happened what happened yesterday, everybody is emotional about it. But this is a brand new day, and y'all just picking at kids. Why? Because what? Like, what? So I'm off tomorrow because it's my anniversary weekend. But I'm just trying to see how I'm finna move forward with this. Because what? And my other coworker, she was like, you do know that this is a pattern, right? She was like, they've been fucking with your kids in your club since you sat in that room and called all of them out for being racist.
Everything you just saw, the bullying, the racism, the disrespect, that's not just wrong. It's a betrayal of everything our ancestors fought for. This is not just about one school or one moment. This is about a system that has allowed racism to grow in silence. And the fact that it's still happening in schools today, in 2025, is heartbreaking. Fannie Lou Hamer didn't risk her life, get beaten, and fight for voting rights just so our children could be bullied in a school hallway. Dr. King didn't march for freedom only for our kids to walk into schools where they're still treated like outsiders. Malcolm X didn't speak power into our people just for us to raise another generation that's told they're too loud, too black, or don't belong. Our people fought, and they fought hard, for the right to learn, to live, to exist, and to be respected. And now it's our turn to fight for our children the same way. It is not okay for a child to dread going to school because of the color of their skin. It is not okay for them to feel unsafe, unseen, and unloved. And it is never okay for them to be the ones expected to leave when they are the ones being targeted. We need to flip that script. Yes, our kids can go to a predominantly white school and not be bullied, not be racially profiled. They have the right to be there. They have the right to learn, to grow, to lead. They are not less than. They are not the problem. We can go anywhere we want, and we don't have to shrink ourselves to make other people comfortable. But the only way we protect our children is by preparing them. We have to teach them the truth, not just about history, but about identity. Teach them about Fannie Lou Hamer, about Harriet Tubman, about Ida B. Wells, about James Baldwin, about Angela Davis. Teach them that being black is not a burden. It's a badge of honor. We need to fill our homes with love, strength, and truth, because the world is not always going to do that for them. They need to know they are powerful. They are worthy. They are not what this broken system says they are. And if we don't tell them that, who will? This doesn't stop at school. Racism is alive in workplaces, in stores, in courts, on the news, but the change begins with us. So don't just watch this video and move on. Talk about it, share it, call it out when you see it. Have these hard conversations, support each other, speak up for our kids, because the fight isn't over, and we owe it to every ancestor who fought before us and every child coming after us to keep fighting until this mess ends. Our children are beautiful, they are brilliant, and they deserve the freedom to just be kids without racism in the way. Thank you for watching and taking the time to really listen. Before you go, I want to leave you with a powerful message from someone whose voice truly matters, Ashani. Please check her out, hear what she has to say, and let her words sit with you the same way I hope mine did. We need to keep amplifying voices that speak truth and inspire change. Much love, and I'll see you in the next one.
2 simple statements to stop racists in their tracks. Listen up, y'all. It's the holiday season. You're going to be getting together with your family members, maybe with some groups of friends, and more than likely, there's going to be that one racist person saying their racist statements while you're trying to hang out and just have a good old time. But you're not going to let them get away with it, because you're going to have these 2 simple statements that you can say to stop them in their tracks and to check them on their racism. Number 1, there is no hierarchy in humanity. There is no hierarchy in humanity. So the value of someone's life is not dependent upon where they come from, what they look like, what their ethnic background is, what their religious beliefs are, what their socioeconomic status is. Your life is not more valuable than mine. My life is not more valuable than yours. There is no hierarchy in humanity. So let them know, stop right there. Don't even go there. There's no hierarchy in humanity. Number 2, you cannot separate the people from the systems within which they exist. You cannot separate the people from the systems within which they exist. So for example, if someone's making racist statements, perpetuating negative racist stereotypes about Black people, calling us criminals, saying that, we are fatherless, and all of these different things that people typically say about Black people, you can let them know you can't separate the people from the systems within which they exist, and systems which were created to dehumanize them, to criminalize them, to marginalize them, and to oppress them. You can't separate the 2. So if you have these negative racial stereotypes about Black people, guess what? Think about the systems and look at the systems that were created in order to perpetuate those stereotypes. Don't separate the people from the systems within which they exist, because that matters, period. Now, if you know you need help with these difficult and uncomfortable conversations about race and racism and other systems of oppression, get the training, get the education, get the help that you need so that you can know better and you can do better, so that you can show up to these conversations with more confidence, with more compassion, without causing unintentional harm, and without getting derailed and distracted when people try to do that during these conversations. So you can go to that link on my profile, sign up for my Anti-Racist Conversations Confidence Challenge training series today. It's getting ready to expire. It's getting ready to be discontinued. So make sure you sign up today to get that training and face these difficult and uncomfortable conversations with your family members, with your friends, with your coworkers, with a newfound level of confidence and compassion. Link is on my profile.